What's up guys, it's time for another FM Virtual Stadium Tour video, and today we are going to be doing something a little bit different from normal. We're actually going to be building a custom stadium in this game, FIFA Manager 13, that I use. I know it's last year's one now, but please ignore that. Anyway, this is a stadium I call the Large and Cheap. I'm sure you can understand why it's called that, because it's extremely large and extremely cheap. So I'm just gonna show you how to build it right now, maybe explain a few elements of it, and just explain a few things about it as well. So if we start off with this corner here, now you'll see why I'm doing this at the end, because the whole stadium itself is extremely repetitive, and you just need something to break it up, really. What I'm doing right now is just changing the advertising boards around the edge of the stadium. I'm also putting in all of the extra little bits you can put in if you want to, like barriers, like confetti. If you go down, you can see that there's press you can put in. If you go down even further, there's like guards and stuff you can put in. If I missed that, I have missed that. There they are, guards, next to lots of press. So yeah, I missed that obviously. You can put in like nets for behind the goals, if I just show you that quickly. If you're looking at that goal down there, I'm an idiot. If I then click on where are we? If then click on net, boom, there you go. There's a huge net behind the goal, but I'm not a fan, so I'm going to take them away. Anyway, that's all of that sort of little rubbish done. This corner, I've got the VIP corners, which I have used in previous videos, and an absolutely massive floodlight above it. That's because in the rest of the stadium there's not really any other floodlights or any areas where you can put floodlights. You will see what I'm talking about when I'm done. But anyway, if I now start one of the proper stands, and the majority of them are going to be like this, by the way, so I'm going to probably save myself a lot of time on this video. But anyway, let's do medium entrances all the way up, and now you're just starting to see why this stadium is so cheap. There's no overhangs, there's no real clever stuff about it. It's just an extremely big stadium that is just like that the majority of the time. I'm just going to show you now how to save a hell of a lot of time while doing this. You just drag. You put on the bottom there, you can see my mouse cursor hovering over it now. It says capacity 64,000 completed. Ignore that. But you just click on it and drag it where you want it, and you can do that for the whole stadium, and effectively it just pulls it all up. One thing though, you can't drag a flat side into a corner. That doesn't work. You have to do them separately. But it's the same. Once you've built a corner, you can just drag it, and I'll show you now with the VIP one. If I just drag it there, and now we've got both corners as VIP ones. But I don't want that, so I'm going to get rid of it. Anyway, we'll come back to these in a bit. I might have to copy them all over again, but I'm not going to do that right now. Anyway, main grandstand, middle bit. So this is going to be slightly more complicated than everything else, because I'm going to have to do a few little extravagant touches on it just to make it look slightly better. So if I what am I looking for? Let's start with benches. That's what we should start with. Player benches. The dugout, effectively what you see Sir Alex Ferguson or Arsene Wenger or anyone like that sitting in. Now obviously for a stadium of this size you're going to go with the biggest one you can. So I've actually just destroyed the concrete floor there, which isn't good. Oh, that's not right. What am I looking for? There it is, concrete floor, right. Alrighty, so you can actually move the benches back or forward. I prefer to have them on the pitch because that looks better. Now what else do we need? Well, at most stadiums, apart from Old Trafford is the obvious exception, where's the tunnel? It's in the middle of the pitch. So we need a tunnel. Now there are two elements to the tunnel. Obviously if you go into MISC here, or miscellaneous, however you say it, there's lots of different tunnels. I quite like the long natural, Tunnel B. But that's not it. You also need a section for the players to wander onto the pitch with. So you need player entrance. There's several there. There are standard ones. You can also get special ones, and I'll show you the difference between them. Standard one is just like that. Looks rubbish. Well, it looks fine for a smaller club. But as this is an absolutely massive stadium, we want a bigger one. So I'm just going to delete that and put a bigger one in. There we go. That's a special one. And for those of you who are wondering how I got rid of that, by the way, if you look down on the bottom here where they're all listed, all the elements you have listed, there's a little red X next to them. Now if you click the status at the top, everything in that block is deleted. But if you click on one little red X, just one bit of it is deleted. So that's an easy way just to get rid of one or two bits if you're like me and you're not very clever. Anyway, the rest of this stand is just going to be extremely similar to what's already happened. Only we're going to put railings up there. Where are we? Steel railings normally. Plastic ones tend to break in my mind. I don't know why. I just always put steel, because in my mind if you put plastic up there it's like, oh well, that's going to break because it's plastic. Obviously that's not the case though, because I'm an idiot. Just something to cover up the railings as well. Advertising boards. There you go, that looks better, doesn't it? It's like these ad boards around the bottom of the pitch, around the whole stadium, and then it's like, no, we're just going to raise them up above the player exit here, or entrances. Where are we now? I need to put exactly the same, pretty much. They closed entrances? They were, weren't they? Yes, I got that right. Yeah, it's almost exactly the same as everything else. Only because you have to put the player entrance in, that doesn't count as a stand, so you can put one extra stand in here. I don't normally do that. I normally leave it all the same height because it looks better. But if you can find a way to fit the extra one in without it looking absolutely stupid, please let me know in the comments, because I would very much like to know, because it's just that extra bit of capacity in the stadium, isn't it? If I just finish this off now with the wall, continuous B. Now, the reason I've come back to the roof and I haven't done that yet is because, actually let's go on and do the corner first. Again, it's extremely simple, the corner. It's just a bunch of, there we go, it's just quite simply, what am I doing? I'm being an idiot. Please ignore this bit. There we go. Right, now I can delete those, so you learn the tricks of the trade after a while. Yeah. Anyway, as I said before, you can't copy corners across, so medium entrance closed. Or did I wanted a deluxe one, didn't I? Yeah, you can't copy them across, so you have to do them all separately, but you can copy other corners across, so it's not all bad. Where's the wall at the back? I always lose elements, that's the thing. I know what I'm doing, but I lose the elements I'm looking for. Right, okay, if I copy this now. So basically now we've hit the capacity for the entire stadium, 83,270, you can see there, bottom right hand corner. If you were building this stadium without a roof, it would only cost you 38.7 million from, well, I started from nothing. If you have to delete a stadium that's already there, excuse me, or demolish it, obviously it's going to cost you a little bit more because you have to demolish the old stadium as well, but as you can see, it's just a very simple stadium, extremely big, no overhangs or anything, which means no extra money going down the drain. It looks extremely simple because it is, and there's just a few, I'm just going to do a few finishing touches now, stuff like the roof, stuff like VIP areas, even though I've already done it, or press boxes and stuff like that. Okay, so if we start off with the roof, there are two different ways you can do the roof. I've found you can either you can either have a special glass arch roof above all of the main sections. Let's have a large one. There we go. Like that. Look how quick this is compared to having to do it each section on its own. So it looks like that, but the problem is, not like that because I haven't done, but the problem is, excuse me again, you can't do the corners like this, so the corners have to be separate, normally like a flat roof. And if we start here, this is the other way you could do it. If I go back to roofs, because that's where you need to be. Oh, I already had it open. And I go to flat roof. Went straight past it there. Can't find anything today. And you just click it 5 or 6 times until the top starts going dark. Because that's when people are going to start sitting in the dark, and that's no good. Saying that, coincidentally, I was watching a Plymouth Argyle match the other day on, I think it was highlights or something, and the floodlights went out, and all the fans in the stand just held up their mobile phones with the flashes on. It's just like, hey, wear the floodlight now, you can keep playing. I find it highly amusing. But anyway, back to this stadium, and normally with these flat roofs, you just need to finish it off with a connection, just because it looks better. I normally go for the flat one, and you see it just rounds off the roof. And if you want to make your roof join up, all you have to do is do exactly the same for the flat ones. Now I'm actually torn between which one's better to use. I normally use the arches and just the flat on the corners. Only if you're using the flat on just the corners with the arches on the grandstands, I normally make them a bit shorter because it looks better in my mind. But anyway, how many did I put on it? 4, 5. There we go. And connection B flat. Oh, look at that. Skills to pay the bills. There we are. Right, and if I just keep going around here, and if I finally do this one, flat A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that right? That's right. And just put the connection on it as always. I've gone straight past it. There we go. Right, now you can just see the roof. If I get rid of this shortly, the roof all matches up, it all links together. I think it looks better. One thing you can also do, by the way, with the roofs, if I go here and floodlights, you can actually put floodlights on the roof. Now it's something I do occasionally, but it's extremely expensive, and you will have to move them back, by the way. If I put it at the halfway mark, there we are. You see, that doesn't look too bad, and it's also, you know, in my mind I'm always like, well, is that going to work? Is it going to get in the fans' way? If you do that, it's obviously not going to get in their way. But you know, again, in my mind, this stadium's so big, they're so far away, those floodlights, they won't make a damn difference. So there's no need for them. That's why, by the way, I have no floodlights in the whole of the rest of this stadium. That's why I have that gigantic one in the corner there. A, because it looks bloody awesome, look at it, and B, because there aren't any in the rest of the stadium. But anyway, we're nearly done. I'm just gonna do one last thing. Now, what is it all stadiums have? It's a VIP area. Yep, got one of them. What else is it all stadiums need? A press box, right? Somewhere for the news reporters to sit. So what I'm going to do is, just to try and blend it in, obviously I'm going to pick a big one. So if I go large media area, you can have two. You can have an open one or a covered one. Covered one basically looks like a VIP continuous section. You may have seen them in some of my other videos, and an open one just looks like that. Yeah, that's it. That's all it looks like. And I just normally place it just above the VIP area, just because it looks good. To be honest, it breaks up that stand. I also think that it's also a good divider for the away fans, because the section between the away fans and the home fans normally has nothing in it. There's like sheets covering it, and and guards all around it protecting the area, so that there aren't fights and stuff. But also, it's where the best atmosphere is, because you got the fans chanting at each other clearly all the time during the whole game, and so that's where the press should be, because it's like, yeah, this stadium has a great atmosphere. No, the atmosphere is average. You're just in, you know, the best part of it. But anyway, that's where I normally put it. Now for the stats. With the roof and the VIP area and the press box, excuse me again, the stadium holds 82,590 people, so it's a big stadium, and it only costs 46.5 million to build. I say only, that's obviously a hell of a lot of money, but considering if in this game at least, when it's sold out, it will get you 2.4 million per match. That's quite a lot. So if you have 46.5 million, it's a decent thing to build. One last thing I said I was going to explain. Why have I got the VIP area here? Two reasons. Number one, obviously, as I've said already, you need the VIP area. Number two, it breaks up the stadium. If it was just like this the whole way round, it doesn't look very good, does it? But if you have the VIP area in one corner, I think it just breaks it up slightly, makes the stadium a little bit more interesting to look at. And you know, I think the VIPs do better to be in a complete section all on their own, not to have fans around them, because, you know, they want to get the VIP experience. They don't want to be harassed by people the whole time. That's me sounding like a massive snob, isn't it? Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Excuse me once again, I'm sorry about that. Please don't hesitate to give us a like on this video and on Facebook. Please don't hesitate also to go on Twitter and follow us. You can find us at FM Stadium Tours, I believe, for both of them. Also, please subscribe. I'm going to aim to get more of these type of videos out, as well as the regular facts and virtual stadium tours of real life stadiums. So hopefully the channel's just going to boot up again. A few more videos going to come out in the next few weeks. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See ya laters!